Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about let her be free. So let's say a woman broke up with you or she rejected you, she didn't reply to your message. When it comes to these sorts of situations where a woman knows that you like her or want to be with her, but she doesn't want to be with you, there's not really much you can do in those situations apart from just let her go and just to let her be free, basically, right? Because, the best kinds of relationships, the best kind of dates you're ever going to go on is with women who want to be there, right? With women who are enthusiastic about you, who show up, they don't flake on you, they really want to be there, and they show up to those dates, basically. Those are the girls that you want, right? Those are the women that you want to interact with. And the same goes for, like women who you're in a relationship with. Women that appreciate you and love you and value you, who are attracted to you, are not going to dump you, right? So when a woman does dump you, you got to let her be free. If you go up to a woman and she says that she's not interested in dating you, when you ask her out, you got to let her be free. You got to let her be free, because doing the opposite and trying to beg or plead to be with her, trying to convince her with reason and logic as to why she needs to be with you, why you're better than all the other guys or girls, as the case may be, right? Doing that is not going to help. Doing that is only going to push her away even further, right? So you got to let her be free if she has rejected you or dumped you. You just have to. So the next thing I want to talk about is, when you're dating a woman, you have to basically be unaffected by her, because sometimes, especially when you first start dating a woman, she sort of, her interest in you may fluctuate a little bit. You may not hear from her for a couple of days, and things like that, especially if she's one of these women that perhaps only has a little bit of interest in you. But it could still lead to, let's say, a potential relationship down the road. Perhaps she just needs a little bit more time to warm up to you and things like that. Like, there are loads of little variables that can go into why a woman may be a little bit hot and cold to begin with. Like, there could be an ex still in the picture or something like that. You never know, basically, especially if you don't really know this woman too well yet. Like, if you've just met on a dating app and you don't really know that much about her background. So when you first start dating a woman, you never really know what's going on there, right? 100%. So sometimes she can be a bit hot and cold. Like, sometimes when you're on a date, she might be really flirtatious, and then you go on another date and she might be a little bit more cold and distant, you know. So when it comes to this sort of behavior, when a woman is acting like this, what you got to remember is you got to remain unaffected by what she does, right? So if she wants to go out with you on a date, that's great, and you're happy to be there. If she doesn't talk to you for a few days and you don't know why, then you've got to, still remain unaffected by that. You have to still be, happy with or without her, basically. You have to start, enjoying you need to create your life in such a way where if a woman enters your life, it's great, but also if a woman, decides to leave your life or decides to, just go ghost on you for a little bit, or just disappear on you for a few days. You can't allow that to affect you. You can't allow that to make you become butthurt and resentful. So one of the mistakes I see a lot of people doing is when the person they like perhaps got a bit cold or distant, starts to reach out again, the person who that was happening to, so let's say the guy, for an example, let's say this happened to a guy and a woman was behaving like this. When the woman comes back and says, "Hey, how are you?" Usually sometimes the man is very like cold and horrible to her, right? Maybe like quite resentful towards the fact that she was gone for a few days. But what you got to understand is that when someone behaves in the way that you want them to behave, like if you've wanted her to reach out to you and then she suddenly does, you've got to give her positive reinforcement. You can't be negative to her, otherwise that's just going to repel her even more, right? If she's being happy and, if she's happy to talk to you again, if she wants to see you, like, you don't know 100% what's been going on with her. Like, perhaps someone in her family got ill. Perhaps, she was having some other kind of struggle. You don't know, basically, especially if you don't know what's going on in her life, right? If it is someone that you've only just started to date and you don't know what her other issues are. Perhaps she has a really intense job, right? You don't know, basically. So if a woman does come back and she's like, hey, how you been? Or hey, when are you free to hang out? You have to be just as happy as you were when, you was on that first date with her or something. You can't be affected by what she does. If she's there, you're happy. If she's not, you're happy. If she reaches out to you a week later after you send, a message to her and it takes her a week to respond, you still got to be happy. Like it didn't bother you, right? Because if you let her know that it bothered you and you become butthurt and resentful, or you say something mean to her, I don't know, for example, you might say something like, oh wow, the clouds have opened, and you finally message back, something passive aggressive like that. It's not going to make her feel good, and it's not going to make her want to hang out with you, right? Because as women, women tend to want to be around people that make them feel good. And if you're making her feel awful about herself, then she's not going to want to hang out with you. So you got to remain unaffected by what she does and let her be free. She's free to come and go as she pleases. It doesn't bother you in the slightest. Now, if she's coming and going because maybe she's got a few other people that she's seeing, a few other guys maybe, and you're not happy with that, then just don't date her anymore. You don't have to continue dating her. So if you're not happy with the fact that she hasn't responded to you, then, just don't reply to her, right? But if it's someone that you do want to continue dating, then you have to act like you're unaffected by what she does, okay? So that's just something that you need to keep in mind. So this all goes back to, you need to get to a place where you enjoy your free time, So, for example, let's say you arrange a date with a woman and she flakes on you, right? If that were me, I would still go out on that date and treat myself to a meal, treat myself to a drink. I would still go on that date essentially, but I would just be doing it for myself, right? And still have a good time. I wouldn't get I wouldn't get angry about what happened or anything like that. Okay? So, so basically whatever you do, you're enjoying that free time that you have. So, or it may be the case that you don't do that. You do something different that you would prefer to do, for example. It's all about enjoying your free time. So you can either go out on that date and just, you do something for yourself, or you can do something at home that you were planning to do anyway, like working on a project or something like that you're really interested in. But you got to find a way to design a life that you're happy with, and you can use your free time to the best of your ability. Right? So, what is that for you? Like, what would you like to be doing in your free time? Because if a woman cancels a date on you or whatever it is, and you've now got some free time on your hands, you should be happy actually that you've got that free time, because you're like, oh great, now I can work on this, or great, now I can, just have some time, people watching, and, I can maybe bring my laptop to that place I was going to go to, and get some work done there, having, just take in a new environment, and this all again, kind of goes back to whatever she does, it doesn't affect you. You can still find ways to enjoy that time that you was actually keeping for her. It's all about, finding things that you're genuinely interested in, that you genuinely find, that you get genuinely curious about, and that excites you, that gives you lots of inspiration. Because, if you do that and you do that on a consistent basis and you've always got things that you like to do around you, and you're not just looking at your phone waiting for a woman to respond to you, or you're just looking at our social medias and pining after her, because if you live like that and you've got all these things that you do that make you pine after her, then you're going to feel miserable, because, it will then make or break your day whether or not she replies to you or shows up to that date, So, but if you've got loads of things that you like to do, that you love, that you enjoy, that bring you a lot of meaning, that are meaningful to you, that gives you lots of inspiration, all of those things that excite you, then it's not going to matter if a girl cancels or she ghosts you or whatever it may be, because you've got other things that you can focus on that you enjoy, that brings you a lot of, meaning and stuff. Essentially, you want to get to a place where you're really chill with women, right? So that means you don't really mind that much if she's in your life or she's not in your life, especially when you're dating. Like, it's really important to have this mindset, especially, when you're dating women, because they can change their behavior. You may go out on one date with a woman and it goes really great, and then you never hear from them again. Like, you don't know why. Perhaps an ex came back. It could be a multitude of different things, right? You have to not let these things get to you. You need to be more chill and relaxed. And if it happens, it happens. Like the right woman will come, essentially, at the right time. It will happen. You just have to keep on going through the numbers until you do find that right one for you. Okay? And if you get into a relationship and she breaks up with you, then you have to see that as a positive. Right? You have to see it as, okay, great, now I can start a new adventure. Now my world is now just opened up to meet a new woman. I'm going to let her be free because obviously she doesn't want to be with me and I don't want to be hanging around someone that doesn't love me. You got to have that attitude of, you know what, if it happens, it happens, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong, right? Either way, I'm going to be just fine, and I know I'm going to be just fine because my love life isn't the only part of my life. I have other things too. I have other things that I love, that I care about, that are important to me. I have things that I can work on. I know to keep myself preoccupied. It's about having that kind of attitude where you're more relaxed and chill, and you're not so desperate for that outcome of a relationship or for things to work out or for her to sleep with you, whatever it may be. Whatever the outcome is, you become unattached to it. You become unattached to the outcome and you just allow things to just happen. If it works out, it doesn't, right? And that's how you essentially, let her be free, but in a way you're kind of freeing yourself too, right? If you just become a lot more relaxed with it. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you're cold to women or anything like that. It just means that you're no longer clinging on to those women that enter your life or the women that leave your life, right? Just see it as all, one day this is all going to make sense to me. She left me, it hurts. Like, you're not denying your feelings. Things suck sometimes. If it sucks that she broke up with you, it sucks that she broke up with you. Don't hide that fact. Don't deny that from yourself. If it hurts, right? And you have to allow it to hurt as well. You can't bottle these things up. It's not good. It's not healthy for you, right? But, what you got to understand is that, you got to have the mindset of, it hurts right now, but I'm sure one day it's all going to make sense. It's all going to come clear. And, I'm going to be able to see this as a positive in some way down the future, right? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.